Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County show that's on in the morning. It's report card day. We have all the grades for St. Johns County schools. Governor Ron DeSantis is sending crews for rescue efforts in Texas. North Beach residents are mobilizing as federal funding dries up, and a winning lottery ticket is sold here in St. Augustine. So thanks, friend, for picking that up. You can drop it off in the studio whenever you're ready.
Yep.
We'll get to all that and more, but first we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 70 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Award, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors: Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, BNS Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. You can support all of our wonderful sponsors, and we'd really appreciate that. You can also support us with your likes, comments, and shares. You can find us on YouTube and help us reach our new goal of 2,000 subscribers. You can also find us on Rumble. You can follow us there as well. Facebook stars are a great way to support us. We love stars. They're our favorite shape. The app is back in the Apple App Store, so you can download it today. It's better than ever. All right. Good morning, guys.
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How are you?
Oh, just doing dandy.
I like the hat.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. I wasn't sure. It's a little snug,
Yeah?
but I wasn't sure if it would blend nicely.
I
Some
like it.
some hats I like but when we put it on air, it doesn't really go.
Yeah?
So look,
I think it's
looks
doing
okay.
well. I think it's doing good.
All right.
It's a nice color for the blue wall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
I think Blake's alive back there too.
I think so. Morning, Blake.
I'm trying my best to be alive back here.
Trying your best to be alive.
And if you're wondering what's in the background, that's SpongeBob shaped like Texas.
Yeah.
All right.
We're sending love to Texas.
Love to Texas. Definitely, for sure. All right. Do we have a question of the day?
All right. A question of the day is, what's a food
Mhm.
that's you really like, but it's too difficult to eat, so you don't eat it? It's like either hard to get to, or it's hard to make, or
Yeah.
just it's what's the saying? If the juice is
Juice
worth
ain't
it,
worth the squeeze.
yeah, juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Let's see. I love chicken and dumplings on a rainy and a cool day.
Mhm.
But it's a lot of work, and so I almost
I
never
have
make it.
like a really good chicken and dumpling hack
All right.
that makes it super easy that I'll
Okay.
give you. So,
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Deviled eggs are another one that I can only muster making deviled eggs a couple times a year because they're such an extensive amount of work. And if the eggs don't peel right, then just everyone's mad. We make crepes once a year because, again, the work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. What is the French really giving us?
I know. Crepes.
The
A whole big task.
The menage a trois.
I don't know. They didn't give that to me. I didn't do that one. I skipped it.
I'm talking giving the world.
The world in general. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the world doesn't revolve around.
And it's from Ricky Bobby.
I did not see that movie.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, the classic.
Will Ferrell is a juice not worth the squeeze for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like him situation specific.
Okay.
Like, what do you think?
I'm going to go with warhog because it's kind of hard to find places here in the U.S. to eat warhog, even though it's super good.
It was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
So warthog's tasty?
Pumbaa was really yummy.
All right. Well,
I don't know
guinea
if you
pig
should tell
was
your children that, but
well, guinea pig was really good
Guinea
when
pig.
we were in
I
Peru.
don't know if we've had guinea pig
Cuy,
yet.
cuy is what they call it, and it was really good. Alpaca was really good too.
I think I've had alpaca.
But I mean,
I've had
I don't
llama.
know. I don't know what I would have to do at Llama Restaurant to get some good cuy in St. Augustine,
Yeah.
but it was very tasty.
Yeah, warthog is very, very tasty. I'm not gonna. So It was one of those that was very surprising, and I thought it would taste more like pork, and it actually tasted more like steak.
All right.
So,
I wouldn't have guessed steak.
yeah,
I would have gone pork
we
too.
didn't we wouldn't expecting it that way.
Yeah,
either. We thought it was going to be more like a pork chop, obviously, because it looks like
warthog.
It's a hog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So,
Good one.
and mine's crab legs. I really like crab legs. Well, someone else needs to crack them for me because they're.
I never even started crab legs.
I mean,
because
and I have a pretty good
hell?
technique, but it just yeah, I don't. By the time I'm done, then you're all smelly and it's dripping.
Yeah.
You got to use the lemons on you. And it's like, all right, give me a grilled cheese sandwich.
Right. Give me a hot dog. Yeah. So I didn't say any of the crustaceans because lobster was the first one that popped in my head, and you were like, but delicious, but not worth it. I don't even think lobster's worth the effort. I don't think it tastes good enough to be worth the effort of peeling it out of the husk.
Well,
same for crab legs.
Most of the time, like I get, I usually only eat lobster in Anegada.
Okay.
I don't order lobster like any place else now because I'm spoiled, and there they split it for you.
Yeah.
And once it's split for you, it's just kind of peeling it out.
Southern lobster then?
Yeah. I don't like the Maine lobster. I like Maine lobster. I'm not denying a good Maine lobster, but Anegada lobster to me is just a little sweeter.
Yeah. The only time I had lobster was in Massachusetts when I was living on a schooner, and it was like our big fancy dinner was lobster, and I was like, all right, well, it's dinner. I'm gonna eat it, gonna try it when in Rome or Massachusetts. And I got a girl lobster, which if you're a lobster novice, you don't want a girl.
Yeah.
You don't want a girl coated in eggs.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to, you don't want that.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing if you're brand new at it.
Yeah, I was like, maybe this isn't for me. I was right. I was right from the beginning.
So,
not my thing.
No, so let's hear what is a food that's good but not worth.
Yeah, not worth the effort.
Yeah,
dude.
But no, remind me to give you the chicken and dumplings.
I will.
Like
I want to write it down.
It's super easy. It's super easy. So
this marker's dead.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have a quick check of the weather?
All right. We got a high of 87 with a low of 75 today. There is a chance of afternoon showers between about 2 and 5. It should be gone before trivia tonight. It's about 35% chance between those hours. Everything else, the rest of the day is like 10 to 15% chance.
Right on. So I have to water my neighbor's plants.
So it's going to be like a bazillion% humidity.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you touch the doorknob to go outside, you will start sweating.
That quick check of the weather brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street. With over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's a perfect spot for a romantic date night or an after work unwind. Just relax out there with the fountain and the stars. It's beautiful. Sit by the glass or bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Bin 39, your taste to discover. All right, buckle up, baby. It's the Hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic. It's looking fine.
It's a light day again.
Yeah, surprisingly so.
Looks actually really good out there.
It looks great.
Yeah, but
are we sure we're in Florida?
I am sure that we are in Florida because I don't think there's anyone else in. There might be 2 locations that might say International Golf Parkway, but other than that, yeah, it's looking adequately decent today.
The trees are starting to get towards that deep green that they get in back to school time, and I don't like that. I'm not ready for school to start.
Well, and when you live in the neighborhood we live in, that pretty much means your grass is green, the trees are that nice color green, which is basically saying storm's coming.
Fun.
Yeah.
Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenience stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's historic hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. So sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. Moving into the news. DeSantis to send Florida crews to Texas to help with rescue and search efforts. Florida is stepping up to help Texas in the aftermath of catastrophic flooding. Governor Ron DeSantis announced Monday that Florida is deploying water rescue crews to assist with search efforts in central Texas, where nearly 90 people have died and several others remain missing following a weekend of torrential downpours and flash flooding. DeSantis emphasized the importance of mutual aid between states. Texas has helped us when we've had different issues throughout the years, he said, and we're happy to step up. The governor also pushed back on attempts to politicize the response to the unexpected devastation. Mother Nature, especially water, we see that in Florida with storm surge. It can be really, really nasty, DeSantis said. This was a biblical flood, much more than what I think they anticipated. Florida's elite water rescue teams are now en route to support ongoing recovery operations and assist local agencies as the region continues grappling with widespread destruction. I think this is a good move. I love states helping states, and I'm glad our people are able to go out there and lend a hand.
Well, I mean, it's, we're a state that probably has the most experience of this, and, it's just a horrible, horrible situation. What's going on in Texas, and last number I heard was 95. I don't know if it's went up since last night. So.
Yeah, I think that was the last number I saw as well. The water molecule is insidious. That I was there when Marineland built the habitats that are there right now, and that was just the constant message. Like, we're going to build these, and then we're going to fill them with water. We're going to drain it. We're going to fill them back up again, and we're going to see what's going to happen, because that water molecule is going to find every single weakness, and it always is on a path of destruction. And it just is. And we know that in Florida. We see that on an almost annual basis, the absolute destructive power of the water molecule. And this was...
Yeah, the
NOAA was there. The National Weather Service was there. They did what they were supposed to do. Maybe not the best that they possibly could have, but a river rising that high in such a short period of time.
I saw the press conference of some of the leaders of the area, and they were like, why didn't you warn people earlier? It was like, okay, by the time it hit, it would have been dangerous for us to say anything at that point, because then there would have been people on the road, and it would have been much more devastating than what was there. I mean, what's the old Florida? I mean, this is an old Florida rule. I don't know if you guys had it over where you're at, but the rule is you hide from the wind and you run from the water.
Yeah.
So that's what water is. Water is what gets you. Like, people think it's the hurricanes and the swirling and stuff like that. You can hide from that. You gotta get away from the water.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, it's just absolutely devastating, and I'm glad that we're able to help as Floridians.
Yep.
Moving into more local news, in St. John's, North Beach residents mobilize around resilience as federal funding dries up. With hurricane season in full swing and storm threatens looming, the small St. Johns County community of North Beach is making noise about its fight against flooding and making sure it's heard from local commission chambers to Capitol Hill. Residents are no strangers to storm damage. Debbie Dickinson moved in just before Hurricanes Ian and Nicole hit in 2022, soaking her dream home and exposing the area's deep infrastructure problems. Now Dickinson leads the North Beach Community Alliance, a group working to amplify residents' voices at all levels of government. Their top request, a seawall to protect the 750-home neighborhood from what they say could be catastrophic flooding if a major storm hits. If Category 3 hits and A1A is breached, The ocean will fill in between here and the river, the Alliance director, Sam Tedesco, said. Everybody would be underwater. The Alliance's approach is one of constructive cooperation, holding one-on-one meetings with staffers rather than packing county meetings in protest, and their efforts are paying off. Last year, the group scored a key victory when Congressman John Rutherford toured the flood-prone area by boat. He pledged to help secure funding through FEMA's BRIC program, designed to support pre-disaster infrastructure improvements. But that momentum may be in jeopardy. In April, FEMA shut down the BRIC program, calling it ineffective, and President Donald Trump vowed to dismantle FEMA entirely if he was reelected, which we know he was, a move that could strip states of billions in disaster aid. As for state-level support, the $8 million funding proposal backed by State Rep Sam Greco and Senator Tom Leek failed to make it into the budget signed by Governor Ron DeSantis. With cost estimates of $7.3 million for a seawall and the most recent A1A fix taking 7 years and $14 million, local leaders say there's no quick fix to this problem. Even the idea of a special local tax faces resistance from property owners who don't flood, with Public Works Director Greg Caldwell noting, "Some people ask, what's the benefit to me?" For now, the community waits, stalled by funding, uncertainties, but united in purpose. Quote, "The coastal communities everywhere are facing this," Tedeschi said. "If you don't do anything, you risk losing everything." All right, so what are your thoughts on these efforts?
All right, I'm going to try and handle this like as politically as I possibly can.
Okay.
If they get federal funding, that is great, and I'm happy for them, and I wish them the best, and I really don't want anyone to lose their house in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
All right, but this person moved in after Matthew, after Irma, after a lot of destruction in that area, and ignored it.
Yes.
And acted like, oh, I didn't know. Okay, you should have known.
Yeah.
All right, there's historic challenges in that area.
It's not
and
like
your insurance proves that.
It's not like 2006.
Yeah.
When it hadn't flooded in forever.
Yeah.
And you could have legitimately purchased the property at that point and not had recent evidence. But in 2022, the evidence of 2018 and 2019 showed that was no longer.
And like I said, I don't want anyone to lose their home.
No, absolutely not.
We put a lot of money into beach renourishment.
Yeah.
Some of these, there is a special taxing district in that area already, and good for them for stepping up and saying, okay, we'll tax ourselves a little bit more, and it doesn't affect us. That's showing some responsibility for your own. But like I said, if the money doesn't affect our ad valorem dollars, it doesn't affect the rest of the county who takes responsibility for protecting their own houses, then I'm rooting for them to get that money. But this one's a case. I mean, she moved in, and after several storms have already affected that area for years. It's kind of like you were playing with fire already, and then you can't complain about being burnt. So, and hopefully I don't sound too insensitive about it, but it's not fair for the rest of us who, protect our own home and come out of our own pocket to protect our own homes. It's not really our responsibility to protect theirs. Yeah. So, and like I said, I hope that doesn't sound too insensitive. I want them to, be successful in some of those, but it's not fair to ask your neighbors who's living in a house that's 1/3 the cost of yours to protect your house. Yeah. So,
saying the redistribution isn't going the right way for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can't ask the peasants to protect the castle. So
historically, that is what happens.
And that is what happens. So yeah. So I mean, it's.
I get where they're coming from.
I don't want to be insensitive because it's a lot of these people's life savings, and I mean they move into this area, and some of them are a little naive, but it's
Yeah.
You were smart enough to come up with enough money to buy $1 million house. You should know how to protect the $1 million house.
Yeah, I get where they're coming from, and I'm empathetic to it. I mean, it is a big ask for someone who bought away from the water or is, like you say, in a house that is also affected by water, but at a smaller tax bracket, I should say.
Yeah.
It is a big ask to protect your dream retirement home, because we all have dreams and hopefully we all have homes.
Yeah.
At least in this conversation. And yeah, we're all trying to do the best we can.
Yeah.
I need hurricane shutters.
And the money they didn't get from the state's the same money I didn't get for Veterans Village.
Yeah.
Guess which one I feel is a priority,
Yeah.
So,
and that my church didn't get for the roof.
Exactly. Exactly. So, no, I'm being sympathetic towards you, but you some of these times you got to come up with your own solutions. And we do have County Commissioner Sarah Arnold coming in tomorrow. If we get to that topic, we'll ask that question too.
All right.
Because I think they're getting some pressure from the residents in that area.
Well, they said they want to put pressure from county commissioner halls all the way up to Capitol Hill. So yes, I'm sure they've heard from this organization. All right, Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. The gate at Mizell Road is at $2.92. Circle K at $2.07 is also $2.92. Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard is at $2.94, and so is Owens on South Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Shell at North Ponce de Leon Boulevard is at $2.97, and so is the Shell at 146 King Street. Sunoco on South Ponce de Leon Boulevard is $2.99. Mobile and Circle K at South Ponce de Leon Boulevard is also $2.99. Gate on US 1 North is at $3.05, and we are getting no price for the Sunoco at North Ponce de Leon Boulevard. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. Got live music today. JC Hatfield Duo at Milltop Taverns at noon. Palmetto Pickers is at Guy Harvey Resort at 4 o'clock. John Q is at Milltop Tavern at 4:30. Jeremy Wineglass is at Michael's at 6 p.m. Aslan and the Naysayer is at Prohibition Kitchen at 6 o'clock. Smokin' Joe Shower is at Ann O'Malley's Deli and Pub, 6 p.m. And Trivia with Troy, Blake, and Aiden at Sonny's Barbecue tonight at 7 p.m.
And we got plenty of room. You guys need to come out there. It was great the first week. The food is so good, and the staff was great. They really handled, our crowd comes in like just a whirlwind and leaves in a whirlwind, and they handled it with professional and super excited to be there.
Troy's Trivia is amazing. I have been a server at a restaurant where Troy was hosting trivia, and his crew is amazing. They always tipped me well. They always treated me well. They always wanted to ask me questions for trivia.
You're like, I don't get the answers.
I might have helped some teams once or twice. But
well, your movie knowledge, but as long as it's in your head and you're not cheating off of somebody else, that's completely okay.
It was pre-smartphones. That's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
All right, that music report brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted Best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, Fidus installs the GAF Lifetime Roofing System, an expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather. From emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters, Fidus delivers quality, durability, and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, call 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. All right. So trending. I struggled with trends because the thing that kept popping up on my feed the most was people politicizing what's happening in Texas, and that's super gross and icky. So I found something interesting and cool that I wonder if you've heard about.
What is that?
Popped up on my feed. Earth is predicted to spin slightly faster on 3 specific days in 2025.
We're going to fly off.
Exactly. July 9th. And I brought it up today because we have an interview
so
tomorrow.
Hold on.
So we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So hold on during the interview. July 9th, July 22nd, so twice in July, and then August 5th, resulting in some of the shortest days ever recorded, according to a new report from timeanddate.com. The difference will be subtle, measured in milliseconds, with August 5th expected to be about 1.51 milliseconds shorter than the average day. Scientists believe this unusual acceleration may be caused by a combination of factors, including movements in Earth's molten core, melting glaciers redistributing mass, and climate phenomenon like El Nino and La Nina. It's been a while since we've heard everything attributed to El Nino. Intriguingly, the moon's position being furthest from the Earth's equator on these days could also play a role. Experts are puzzled by the trend, as Earth was expected to slow down over time, not speed up. This could eventually lead to unprecedented adjustment in global timekeeping, the subtraction of a leap second by 2029. Physicists and geophysicists remain baffled by the cause, with some suspecting mysterious changes deep within Earth's interior, as current ocean and atmospheric models fail to explain the sudden rotational boost. I know what it is.
A leap second.
Yes.
Okay.
Energy drinks.
Okay. Is that what it is? Yeah, we're all hyped up.
Red Bull gives you wings, and now we're all going to die.
We're all hyped up.
Hyped up on goofballs, and so is the Earth.
Yeah. And
have you heard about the Earth speeding up?
Well,
unexpectedly?
And people are shocked by this. But I mean, I'm watching a documentary. Spielberg did it. I think it's called "This Is Earth" or something. And it's narrated. It's funny because it's narrated by Morgan Freeman, who played God.
Yes.
And then it's all about the science of how everything was created.
So the voice of God is explaining.
The voice of God
creation.
is explaining the science behind.
All right. According to a bunch of Hollywood people collating science.
Well. I still haven't seen a dinosaur in the Bible. The
word dinosaur wasn't invented when they wrote the Bible.
Well, probably not. But so it's kind of funny about like how everything came to be and the destruction of the earth. And, that's what I really have a problem with global warming. In the 70s, it was global cooling.
Yep.
Yeah, we have no control over a spinning ball of lava that we basically sit on.
Yes.
And as humans, we think we control everything. We don't. We don't control anything.
Which is kind of the heart of the politicization, I can almost say it, of the Texas floods, is like people saying that a vote in November caused these floods, which is absurd and disgusting.
Ridiculous.
And basically saying that they asked for it. A lot of people, it's really gross. So the hubris of people to think that a decision or a handful of decisions can affect this massive planet is really absurd. I mean, the balls we have.
Yeah. No, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, like man's only been here a certain amount of time, like a couple million years.
A blink.
It's a blink where, they showed that the level dinosaurs lived on this rock for like 100 million years.
Yeah.
The difference between 2 million and that is a big difference.
It's a pretty big difference.
It's a big difference. So, like you said, I think the hubris of man and what we control. Yeah, we have very little control.
Yes.
We can make our area surroundings around us better, but we have very little control of the global scale of the spinning of the earth.
Yeah.
So, and how fast do we spin? Like some ridiculous rate that we're spinning.
I did not do that research.
Ridiculous rate that we're spinning at, and we still stick to the earth. So
yes, we got this.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Whee!
So we're losing roughly 1.5 millisecond 3 times in the next few weeks. So
I'm pretty sure that's the reason I'm bald.
Exactly.
We're spinning so fast it just blew my hair right off.
Red Bull sped us up, and it blew your hair right off.
Yeah.
Class action lawsuit. All bald people need to sue Red Bull.
Actually, my theory is that my hair was at 5'7", and I grew to 5'8".
You outgrew it.
So it was entirely my fault.
Yeah.
So what was you saying, Blake?
Yeah, so apparently the Earth spins at roughly 1,037 miles per hour.
Yeah.
What is the picture behind you? Is that a horse on a beach
Yes.
with the word man?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right, moving back into the news. Here's how all St. Johns County schools performed and Northeast Florida districts performed this past school year. With school grades now released for 2025, St. Johns County Public Schools once again ranked among the top in Florida. Good job, guys. We earned an overall grade of A, holding strong for another year in a row. The district saw 37 schools achieve an A. 7 more schools earned a B, maintaining its reputation as the highest performing school district in Northeast Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis made the announcement Monday during a news conference in Jacksonville, celebrating what he called a statewide improvement in academic performance. He noted that 71% of all graded schools across Florida earned either an A or a B this year, a jump from 2024 numbers. Across Northeast Florida, Duval County saw one of the most dramatic turnarounds, climbing from an overall B last year to an A grade this year.
Oh, good for them.
The first in its history. The district now boasts 59 A schools, 45 of them public, 14 charter, and
the charter schools saved their ass. Okay. All right, I got you now.
Allegedly.
I got you now, Duval.
Another 53 Duval schools earned a B. Duval Superintendent Christopher Bernier credited the achievement to teamwork and dedication, saying these results aren't just a reflection of test scores, they're a reflection of vision, leadership, and relentless effort at the school level. Students worked hard too. Mm-hmm. Here's how, I added that part, sorry.
Yeah.
Here's how other area districts performed. Clay County's retained its A grade with 25 A schools and only one school earning below a C. Nassau County also repeated its A grade with all 14 schools earning an A. Flagler County maintained a B grade with 3 A schools and 5 B schools. Putnam County remains at a C with 4 A schools, 3 B schools, and 9 C schools. Baker, Bradford, Columbia, Alachua, and Union counties all held steady with B ratings. Governor DeSantis praised the overall academic gains, calling it a really big deal, and emphasizing that Florida is exceeding last year's education performance. Congrats, schools, teachers, students. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's excellent job, and parents. Okay, because
parents for sure.
I can tell you, the parents make a huge difference in this.
Oh yeah.
When parents are participating and playing a part, it makes it easier for the teachers.
Yes.
And I think,
and we do have very active parents.
We have very active parents in this county. So, I mean, I think that's super important to understand, and not to take anything away from the teachers of the school district, but parents keep it up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's, the whole 3-legged stool situation. You need students that perform, you need teachers that are doing amazing, and you need parents that are doing amazing in order to really get the structure built for a proper education for a kid. So that's awesome. Good job.
Yep.
All right. Winning lottery tickets sold in St. Augustine store. A winning Fantasy 5 evening draw ticket sold in St. Augustine convenience store. The winning numbers were drawn Sunday night with a prize of $48,475. Thanks, guys. Right here. Just leave it right here. Yeah. The ticket was sold at gate 2350 State Road 16, St. Augustine, according to the winning lottery, the Florida Lottery. Another winning ticket was sold in Hudson. The winning numbers were 6, 17, 21, 23, 29.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
If you want to sponsor a show, give me a call.
As your first act, you can be the first single person to just sponsor a segment for no reason at all.
Random sponsor about how great you are.
Brought to you by Ted. Ted's awesome. We love Ted. Congrats. If it's Ted, then hey, good job. All right, Troy, how do you want to check the comments today?
On this terrific Tuesday, I will trundle through our tribe's thoughts.
All right. That terrific trundle of our tribe is brought to you by BNS Signs.
And I apologize, Bobby. I couldn't see the comments. If you wrote something, I never saw it. So,
sorry, Bobby. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs. Proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also brought to you by St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds to barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building includes free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options. And this July, when you purchase a Handy House, $100 will be donated to Unity Outreach of St. Augustine. This helps provide mammograms and support for breast cancer patients right here in our community. It's an amazing effort. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience and community matters. All right, Troy, give us a comments report.
all right. First off, thank you, Tim. Wawa was at 292. Costco was at 263.
Nice.
The BP was at 307. I think that was Joy who actually said that. Hair was down.
Yes.
Knew it was going to be a good show. It was a good show. Scott said ribs for his. It
too much
might
work?
not be worth it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I can kind of see it. The cleanup's rough.
It's rough.
I do believe ribs are worth it, and it looks like Kenny's feeling better because Kenny wasn't with us yesterday morning. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit better there, Kenny.
Yes, we hope that you are making a good, solid recovery, Kenny. All right, that's story. Do we have a story stat?
All right, Stordom stat. On this day, 1959, Major Dale Buis and Sergeant Chester Ovenen, they lost their lives in Vietnam. They were the first American casualties in Vietnam. The first St. Johns County resident lost his life in 1965, and that was Leo Chase Jr., Chase Funeral Home. Leo Chase Jr. Lost his life in one of the first battles in 1965, and he was our first St. Johns County resident for Vietnam.
Wow. Poignant stat.
Yep.
That Stordom stat brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today. Do we have plugs, Troy?
All right, we got plugs. Besides trivia tonight, if you guys can make it out there, please come see us and come say hi to Blake and I, and I'll even let you buy me a drink.
Gracious.
I'm a giver. And on Bollocks tonight, we have a great show. Lenny and I just didn't get to enough stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
But there's a
Y'all fired up.
lot of fun stuff today on the show.
Very cool. Blake, do you have any plugs?
No plugs.
All right, I'm good too. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, and Rumble. Bollocks tonight trivia. Bye.
Bye.